And again, my heart hit my feet, and I read the report, and I immediately contacted the CNN reporter. She immediately contacted me back and said, "I've been looking for you. Your name is in this report. I've been looking for you." And it was clear to me that even though I had been in therapy all those years, that I had not healed. And like I mentioned in my testimony, I was wiping my son's runny nose with my phone up to my ear like this, listening to her tell me this. And I still don't have words. I've been suffering since June, since I heard. Went back into therapy and finally found a great counselor who diagnosed me with complex PTSD.
Hey everyone, Philip DeFranco here. Today we're tackling an issue that's as shocking as it is heartbreaking. A widespread cover-up of sexual assault within the U.S. Coast Guard. We're diving into the testimony from survivors, the negligence of leadership, and the shocking 3-year delay in revealing a critical report. Imagine being betrayed not just by an individual, but by an institution sworn to protect you. One survivor described learning about her case being part of an investigation not from the Academy, not from Congress, but from a CNN reporter. She was wiping her child's nose when she received a call that reopened wounds she thought had healed. The courage it takes to relive such trauma and share it publicly is immense, and we owe it to them to listen, learn, and demand change. Freshman cadets in a high-pressure environment, isolated from the outside world, were forced into silence. Fear of retaliation, fear of losing everything they worked so hard for. This fear was deliberately cultivated.
My very good friend sent me a link in my text messages saying, "Look at the CNN article. Weren't you at the Academy during this time period?" And again, my heart hit my feet, and I read the report, and I immediately contacted the CNN reporter. She immediately contacted me back and said, "I've been looking for you. Your name is in this report. I've been looking for you." And it was clear to me that even though I had been in therapy all those years, that I had not healed. And like I mentioned in my testimony, I was wiping my son's runny nose with my phone up to my ear like this, listening to her tell me this. And I still don't have words. I've been suffering since June, since I heard. Went back into therapy and finally found a great counselor who diagnosed me with complex PTSD. And that was very freeing. So this has, in many ways, been a blessing for me because I finally have a diagnosis for the things that I thought were just personality quirks these last 20 years was actually, in fact, PTSD. I don't know if that answers your question fully. I'm happy to expound.
No, you bet it does. Can I ask you about something that you said a few minutes ago, talking about back when you were at the Academy, talking about carrying people on your back in the pool, pushing them up over the walls in the obstacle course, and then none of them would come forward and support you. And you said something that really struck me. You said they're so fearful. They were so fearful. Tell us about that dynamic. What were they fearful of and why?
Frankly, they were fearful of the stripes on leaders' shoulders. The bigger the stripes, the bigger the threat. We all know this.
So what would, walk us through that? I mean, just help us. What was the threat? If they supported you and they said, yeah, she's telling the truth, what would happen?
You would be, blacklisted in a way. I don't know how else to better explain that. Every person that has gotten into a service academy knows how difficult it is and how driven and how hardworking you have to be to get there. I mean, it's not like the normal, acceptance routine that most kids have to go through to get into colleges. They are very, very special people. They're talented, they're hardworking, and they're smart. And to get there, you had to.
Leadership turned a blind eye, and those who dared to support victims faced being blacklisted. It's a chilling reality that demands our attention. The Coast Guard had this report in their hands since January 31st, 2020. For over 3 years they sat on it. Why? Because senior leaders prioritized their careers over justice. Promotion and prestige outweighed the well-being of their own members. Survivors were silenced, cases were ignored, and criminal behavior was covered up. One survivor described gatekeepers who actively prevented senior leaders from addressing critical issues to protect their own ambitions. This isn't just negligence, it's a betrayal of their oath to serve and protect. Admiral Linda Fagan inherited this mess, but that doesn't absolve her of responsibility. Survivors are calling for her, along with her predecessor Admiral Carl Schultz, to testify under oath and explain their actions or inactions. This goes beyond the Coast Guard. It's about the integrity of our government and the trust of the American people. When institutions prioritize self-preservation over justice, it erodes the very foundation of our democracy. Please share this video, leave a comment, and let me know your thoughts. Subscribe to stay informed, stay engaged, and take care. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.